Once Sir Alcester comes to stand on the podium, he silences them with a glare. Citizens of Angiel, I swear to you that I will serve you as well as Gennaro has. That being said, I also believe some changes will need to be made. Hey, you know that successful rule that just happened? Fuck it, I don't think that's the way forward. Sir Alcester continues to speak. He mentions things like curfews for safety, extended work hours, and additional taxes to go towards the knights, but I'm slowly beginning to block out the drone of his voice. What is going on, sir? No, Alcester must have done something to force the king into this charade. The king stands behind Alcester with hands clasped, his eyes alert, but there is a helplessness to them that I have never seen before. It's called being held hostage. It isn't long before the crowd's unsettled murmuring becomes agitated whispering. I am stunned when Cloud cusps his hand to his mouth and starts shouting. There is only one king! King Gennaro! Cloud grips my hand and starts leading me around the outskirts so that the people cannot spot him as he continues his shout. The crowd begins to chant along with Cloud, and then they draw nearer to the stage where my father and Alcester are standing. There is only one king, King Gennaro! Don't make them pull swords on you. Let's go, David. The crowd is right next to the platform, and the chant carries on. Cloud pulls me behind him, but my mind is on my father and his own desperate eyes. Hours later, the Merchant's Tavern is chaotic. People are talking over each other, trying to relay the scene that they saw in the town today. Every visitor here is talking about what they witnessed. I have been in a corner of the room this entire time, trying to understand everyone but failing. Delora and Parfait are not here to calm all of this chaos. Hey, Princess, how are you feeling? Fuck off. I don't care, even if this is a time of blight and terribleness. I still don't want to talk to you. I almost jump when I hear Rumple's voice. Surprised? I can feel when a damsel is in distress, milady. There's a boiling pot of water I want to shove your face into. I'm really not in the mood for your flirting, Rumple. Oh, my apologies. I thought you might have wanted some cheering up. Fuck off. Where's your partner? He went out to town to survey the situation. Karma doesn't do anything around the tavern, but he does a whole lot for you, doesn't he? I suppose that's the least a man in love can do. I feel myself blush. Oh, for fuck's sake. Of course. Why wouldn't he blush? What is Rumple going on about? Princess, you're pink. I am not. My mind feels all scrambled now. This is all Rumple's fault. Thankfully, before Rumple can continue talking, the door opens and Delora walks inside to call all the merchant boarders into the reception room. When I step into the reception room, I am surprised to see two familiar figures standing beside Parfait. Emmeline and Rod. Does Emmeline even know who I am? Both of them look downtrodden and discouraged. Everyone is noticeably shocked as they step inside. The prince and the princess? Where did they come from? What is happening with the palace? What of Queen Ophelia? We need silence in the room, everyone. Delora raises her voice, effectively causing everyone to pause. She glances at Parfait, who nods and then turns to look at Rod and Emmeline. Princess Emmeline, if you would tell everyone what you told Delora and I. The room is unnaturally quiet as Emmeline begins to tell her story. She starts with the events of 1 week ago. In the middle of a family dinner, Alcester burst in with soldiers and seized her, Rod, and Ophelia in front of the king. Sir Alcester said if the king didn't hand over his crown, he would kill us. We had no idea a coup would be staged. The three of them... Oh, that is a surprise. It was a coup. The three of them were taken down to the prison cells, with Ophelia taken to a separate cell. Who was Ophelia again? Sir Fitzgerald helped us escape, but only just barely. Fritz, are you openly disobeying your father? Oh, I hope that he is safe. Alcester wanted to kill the king. I'm sure that he still will. But he has no reason to. The king has already handed over his crown. He's terminally ill. It's going to look weird if he's still in the palace for 20 years, isn't it? I speak before even realising. Everyone stares at me, including Rod and Emmeline. Alcester is a foul man. I only think he usurped the throne now without violence because he wants less resistance from the people. He never spoke up to my father before. Did you just say father? It's a long story, Em. Emily looks between Rod and I, her expression confused. Oh, well, at least we know she's not cursed. You know each other? We do. Emily looks like she wants to say something, but she remains silent. Yeah, she is more courteous and better than we are at being inquisitive. Our mother is still inside the palace. We need to save her somehow, and Sir Fitzgerald. Oh, that's who Ophelia is. It's their mother. I knew that. I promise. We need to save her somehow, and Sir Fitzgerald. What happened to Fritz? We don't know. He helped us escape, but we were spotted at the last moment. He told us to run ahead and leave him behind. We didn't see him again after that, and we couldn't just wait, so Rod brought me here. Right now, we need to piece together this situation as quickly as we can, and then we need to figure out a way to save the king. I knew Alcaster was up to something, but I never thought it would escalate to this. Of course he would. He's evil. You can tell by his weirdly coloured eyes. Jurian, what do you know about this? Darlin and I weren't stripped of our titles because we disobeyed Alcaster's orders. It was because we overheard Alcaster plotting something and tried to tell the king of his plot. We gave him the warning, but the king did not believe us, not with Alcaster and Mithros whispering in his ears. The king didn't think Alcaster was possible of such betrayal. He thought we were trying to turn him against Alcaster for our own gain. And so Alcaster stripped of us of our titles and banished us from the palace. You'd think that would be high treason. I mean, that's definitely treason, isn't it? How did they not kill you? Oh, I'm sorry for trying to commit treason. Now you're fired. Go and live your lives peacefully outside. That's a terrible put off. Lady Parfait found us, and while we were happy to help out at the tavern, we also intended to eventually do something about the mess in the palace. So Alcaster has been planning to do this all the time. Well, I'm glad you've only talked to us about it now. When we part for the night, Parfait and Delora take Rod and Emmeline to a room that they can share. It has been decided that they will be harboured here at the Marchen, a place that Emmeline apparently knew about but never came to because she wasn't cursed. Well, Rod did say his family knew he was cursed. I noticed Emmeline looking at me many times throughout the night, but she never asked me anything. So we're in the same room, great. The next few days are a muddled mess. Everyone is busy trying to find out what happened and what can be done to help the king. I'm sweeping the tavern half-heartedly one day, my thoughts on everything but my chores. Everyone's been trying to do something to help out the last few days. Though I've gone on quite a few trips into town with Cloud to search for information, I haven't been able to find much. Yeah, it's like you're not built for recon or something. I feel so useless. I am finally on my break, so I decide to go into the reception room to rest. Oh, that's right, 3 days of doing nothing and you decide that you deserve a rest. When I step inside, I notice Emmeline sitting on the couch. She waves me over as soon as she sees me. Bugger off, I don't want to reveal all of my secrets to you. She hasn't really openly spoken to me since she has been here. Parfait and Delora have been trying to hide her so as to not cause a ruckus in the Marchen. Rumours are dangerous now. I'm not surprised if a random punter comes along and sees like the king's son and daughter boarded up in some random inn in the middle of nowhere. They're going to look at that and be terrified. They're also going to be dead in like 5 minutes. You're Davette, right? Yes. Rod told me about your curse. He said that you're the King's Blood's daughter. I'm really sorry. I'm shocked by Emmeline's sudden outburst. What? I didn't mean to, but I took your place. How could I forget my own sister? We're not blood related. That doesn't matter. I would love you regardless. Emmeline was always trying to take me out and do things with me back when I was still in the palace. I distanced myself from her because I thought the king loved her more than he loved me. I think that maybe he does. To be fair, you were being a little brat. I would as well. We weren't close. I barely spoke to you or to Rod. Didn't he tell you that? He did. But perhaps now we can turn over a new leaf? Emmeline is as stubborn as always. I have more things to worry about than being her friend. I have to go. I walk off before the conversation continue. If I hadn't been cursed and remained in the palace, would Sir Alcaster have taken me hostage too? Yes. Maybe not, because you're literally evil and he could use you. The hours tick by, and as the tavern is emptied for the day, Delora calls everyone together to explain what she and Parfait have pieced together about the situation. Alright everyone, we've come upon some new information. The first is that Alcasta has cracked down on the riots in town. Anyone seen protesting in his rule is thrown in prison. I mean, they're rioting, aren't they? They're not protesting. A rioting is definitely illegal regardless of the circumstances behind it. The king always valued the people's opinions, so Alcasta does not want opinions, he only wants to rule with an iron fist. Our patrols have shown that there are more overall security in the palace and around the town. They have been charged with keeping people quiet in whatever ways they possibly can. Oh good. Well, at least we're not getting mugged by the townsfolk now. As we heard from the prince and princess, things are most turbulent in the palace. The king is still alive, but it is unlikely he will stay that way for very long. One thing is clear, given Alcasta's motives to take over the kingdom, I doubt he will rest until the king is dead. The king's men have turned against him. Even if there are loyal soldiers still left in the palace, we cannot contact them right now. Rescuing the king and queen will be on us then. We just so happen to have people in this tavern that have a shot at rescuing them. Prince Rod has the key to a secret passage we can use to break into the palace. You'd think they'd have taken that off him, wouldn't you? Unless he kept one here. Okay, that's far more likely. Secret passageway? But the only king and the commander of the knights have the key to that passage, so how did they get a copy? Who's going to join us on this mission? Jurian and Garland both volunteer immediately, followed shortly by Clown and Waltz. I'll go too. The room goes quiet as I step forward and volunteer. Princess, we can't just allow you to put yourself in danger. Oh, no one remembers who I am anyway. It's fine. I look at Cloud, who is staring at me shocked. I took up the sword so I could protect those I care about. Princess, you don't have nearly enough practice. Yeah, we've been practicing for like, what, 2 weeks? Woo! But I can help. I still have time to learn. I agree with Parfait, Princess. The palace isn't the place for you to try out your newfound sword skills. Then you may as well chain me up, because I refuse to stay here while you will go to save the king. Princess. Well, she has been practicing with the rest of us. Yes, and tell us how good I've been. Tell us how many times I've clearly gone for the wrong option. Don't encourage her, Jurian. But it's not like any of us can stop her anyway. You're right, the princess is quite stubborn. Fuck you. Cloud agrees with Jurian, but I can tell that he does not like the idea of me going along with them. If only we had the time to go get reinforcement from Karma's country. Karma's country? Brigantia. How is it possible that a Brigantian citizen can simply ask for reinforcements? Karma is the crown prince of Brigantia. There is some shuffling in the room as everyone turns to gawk at Cloud. Rumpel, Lanice, Rod, and Emma Lane all look shocked by this revelation. You're the Lost Prince! Lost Prince. This is such a tragedy, doesn't it? Anise suddenly looks distressed as she fiddles with her thumbs. All this time and I never knew. I'm so sorry, Your Highness. If you want to piss Karma off, you will do it by calling him His Highness. There is no need for formalities, Anise. But I am the Lost Prince after all. I keep my lineage a secret because right now I'm just a normal commoner. But you're the prince. Couldn't you still ask for reinforcements? Even if I did ask for reinforcements, I'm pretty sure they would never come in time. Besides, I can't go back to my kingdom yet. He cannot go back while he's still cursed. The conversation continues in a more solemn tone. In a more solemn tone? Worse than at the moment. It continues worse. Eventually we start speaking of our plan to enter the palace. When the details are all finalised, I repeat everything to make certain that I know what is meant to happen. Waltz will lead us to the palace, then, and Jurian and Garland will follow right behind him, watching for the most immediate enemies. Leave it to us. We'll deal with any resistance before it touches you, Princess. No, that's not... I dealt with the sword. I can deal with trained knights, good sir. And by deal, I mean get my head cut off by. and Karma will be watching from the back along with Delora. A witch and a prince for backup. Delora smiles wryly. Cloud rolls his shoulders. I'd like to think of us more as the closing act. Though if all goes according to plan, we will have no need for either the opening or closing act. It is a small task force, which is better, the smaller the better. The last thing we want to be is noticed. Yes, a travelling bunch of 6 randomers who all are completely different, all robed in a rather intricate and extravagant manner. Yes, by all means, nothing could ever go wrong. We decide to meet again over the course of the next week to finalise our plan and carefully survey the situation in town before parting. Cloud has taken to training me, Durian and Garland at the same time. Just the other day, all of us attack him. He had all of us attack him together. Even though I am nowhere near as good as a trained knight, I still managed to hit him once. I feel like things are coming to some sort of conclusion, yet I still haven't done 3 good deeds. What the fuck do you think this is? Jesus! You are going to save the king who's been captured! What the fuck is this if it's not a good deed? Today we finalised our plans for getting into the palace. We have mapped out where the king and Ophelia must be in the prisons, where the guards might be positioned, and how we planned on sneaking in. I sit down on my bed and I'm about to lay down when I hear something. Hello, love. Ma, you're red. Were you thinking about me? I noticed that he has one hand on his crest tonight, but then he has been doing that more often. I notice it during practices and sometimes when I catch his eyes. Is he sick? No, what could give you that idea, darling? I shake myself at the sound of Cloud's voice. What if I was changing? You could have knocked. Well, you didn't seem to have a problem when you walked in on me changing without announcing me yourself. That's different. He strolls inside and steps closer to me. He smiles. I accidentally skipped that far too quickly. At me mischievously. There we go. I tried to guess what it would say before realising that would be a bad idea. Oh, how so? Cat got your tongue? Cloud shakes his head, his smile softening. I really didn't mean to come in to disturb you. I just have something important I needed to say to you. Cloud kneels in front of me and furrows his eyebrows. Yes, you... Yes! You may clean my shoes anytime you want! And what's it actually? I want to insist you reconsider going to the palace with us. As Parfait and Delora have said many times, it will be dangerous. Nothing you say is going to change my mind. I want to do what I can to help everyone. Yes, and that terrifies me. Terrifies you? If your stubbornness leads you to you putting your neck out there for someone, I will never forgive myself for your injuries. If you want to help me, stay here where you'll be safe. I'm not some damsel that needs to be protected. Au contraire, you are. David, all I want for you is to stay safe, so that when we save your father, you can face him with a smile. I won't be able to face my father unless I am one of the people to save him. Stubborn as always. I sigh, irritation welling up in my stomach at the look on Cloud's face. He's called me stubborn, but he's being stubborn about this. Really? You said I've improved my sword fighting. You have. You've improved so much because of your resilience and drive, and because you're genuinely interested. It's because I have a good teacher. Oh, your compliment is gentle music to my ears. Your compliments mean a lot to me, David. My eyes fixate on his soft smile at the gentle crinkles in his eyes. Our eyes lock, and for a few moments I am aware of a slight energy between us. I glance away hurriedly, not entirely sure what would happen if I kept staring at him. My heart beats unsteadily in my chest. Earlier today, I comforted your sister when she started crying about the things that had happened in the palace. Yeah, she does seem like the type who wouldn't handle stress very well. Emmeline, why would he comfort her? Because he's not a dick! I saw her crying downstairs in the reception room earlier today without anyone there. She is a rather sweet girl. I keep thinking that you two are completely different. You're both strong-willed and stubborn, and she wears her emotions on her sleeve while you keep it all inside of you. I'm not hiding anything if that's what you were implying. Mother always told me crying was weak. Yeah, she was also the most evil woman ever to have existed, but sure, we can run with that. Cloud stands up and leans forward. Before I know it, I am in his arms. David, I'm always here for you. I feel flustered again and my mind feels foggy. I can barely comprehend what's in my mind or in my heart. Right, well, I think I'm going to do one of those bullshit cliffhanger things and answer this next episode. Thank you, I presume, would be the bad answer, because I'm sorry is I'm going with you, right? With this game, it's impossible to tell, and almost always my first choice in what I want to pick is completely the wrong answer. That's why I've got so many saves. Look at these things. Like, hang on. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Just in case. Whatever. Well, we're gonna have to weed out which one's the right one first, I guess. We'll do that next episode. See you next time.